So one of the things that I've always, like a mantra that I've kept with me, is that life is the art of drawing without an eraser. And so I definitely took that in with this collage, right? Of like, I'm going to accept everything that comes. And like, part of it was like, I had a certain vision of what I wanted. But then when my daughter started touching the buttons, I was like, okay, now I'm going to shift. But we do that, right? In motherhood, like something's thrown at you and you just make it work. Yes, there's no right way to do it, but it is your way, right? It should reflect you and in your journey. Like I said, nothing can go wrong. It's a collage.
Cannot believe I'm on Zoom on my phone, girl.
You can still see me, although I put it back in the case.
I see you.
Mm-hmm. Okay then.
When I seen the flyer, I was like, wow, like this is, ain't I a mother? Like, do I have to be attached or associated with my status, my single status, my married status, my widowed status, my divorced status, whatever it may be? Ain't it just simply, ain't I a mother?
Motherhood is such a huge thing for me. It's just such a huge part of my life. I just like talking about it. I just like sharing my experiences and my stories and my feelings and connecting to other mothers. That always makes me feel good because it makes me feel like, yeah, okay, we're all going through this.
So one, I'm a thespian and a theater teacher. So I just think we naturally tell our stories. I believe that by telling my story, I can't be the only one that has experienced what I experienced through motherhood, but by telling my story, I can help someone else that's coming up through that process.
We all Black women, it's true, but we all have different experiences, even though we may go through some of the same challenges, but the way we handle them, the way we come out of them may be different. And it gives other women an opportunity to see that, okay, I'm going through, but I can come out on the other side.
Somebody said that you have to tell your stories because you don't know for who else that is the salvation or a part of a sisterhood where people are like on their last, but then they see the stories of other women and in particular other Black women, and then we realize, oh, there's a commonality and there's a strength and there's a home. So I think this work is so important.
Just in reading it, I just thought it was really interesting, particularly talking about it, motherhood from the perspective of being a Black woman, because, you know, a lot of times it's talked about generally. And so I was interested in participating in this because there, you know, from my perspective, but there are very unique challenges, obviously, to being a Black mother.
There have been like really specific times since I've been a mother, I'm like, man, white parents don't have this worry. White mothers don't have this worry. And then especially raising a son and then being a single Black mother, you know, all the stereotypes and the stigma and stuff that go along with that is just, I thought it would be a fun outlet to explore some things that can actually be kind of traumatizing.
I love storytelling, and I also sometimes feel like there's such a suffering aspect to our stories. And even though being a mom has been hard at times, it's also one of my favorite things. I did not know I would love being a mom this much. And so being able to share the story with the pain and the sadness, of course, but also all the love, all the good that comes with it, just felt like a great opportunity.
I think it challenged me to step out of the struggle, like, because I get tired of like the struggle narrative all the time, like, and being told that as a mom, you can't have it all. I think one of the most frustrating thing is that when we as women do this to other women, like you can't be a mom and have a job and go to school and do these things, but my narrative doesn't work like that, you know? So it's just like, you know, give me my room to do what I need to do. I can do both, you know, just give me the opportunity to do both and to be both. I'm already multifaceted. I'm a mom, like I'm here, so.
Yeah, my experience is being a teenage mom, being a single parent.
Yeah.
You know, it's rough because you always, I did a great job. I do feel like I did a great job. I just wish I had have had more support because I wouldn't have gone through a lot of things that I went through.
A big part of mine is just, the people that help you. Like, no one can be a great mother on their own. I'm sorry. It just doesn't happen. It takes mothers. It takes friends that are mothers. It takes cousins. It takes perspectives and ideas and support from different people.
And with the support of, you said, his parents?
His mom and dad. My son took his first steps to them. He just love them.
Yeah.
My son was and this other, having the family that I had, these people on this picture.
Yep.
He could go to, they all had the same toys at each person's house. So whenever he went somewhere for the week, he had a big wheel. I didn't have to bring the big wheel or the high chair. They had everything. And nobody said, girl, you in number 19 years old. What are you doing with a baby? I mean, if they said it, they said it behind my back. They said it in my face. But I don't feel like they did that because they love me and him.
I know there were times where I felt like I have my husband and I have a job and I have, all these things but it's still hard and not being able. Sometimes I felt like I couldn't allow it to be hard, or I didn't deserve that it should be hard because I see this single mom here with 5 kids who has just gotten out of a domestic violence situation. And sometimes I felt like I didn't have the right to kind of feel the way that I was feeling, which I know I do, but it just, it's just those feelings.
And I think that's what we as mothers do. Like, we just do what we have to do regardless of what's going on. I tell people all the time, I'm just a mom trying to live in a dad's world, because I feel like dads, and I mean, don't get me wrong, dads have value. I'm not trying to devalue that, but I feel like dads are not moms. It sometimes does feel like, like I'm just here being a mom, trying to be superwoman, trying to meet everyone's needs but my own.
Yeah, we have to be the priority. Yes. We have to make it a priority to be a parent all the time.
Yes.
The people that was around, a lot of people that was around, they raise their children like other Black people. Children don't talk, seen and not heard. Right. I shut up and sat over there for my entire life. But when, I wasn't afraid of my children, because I wasn't afraid of doing anything wrong, because I was old and it was different. I wasn't afraid to be with them. So I wanted them to be thinking people. So I said, my mother raised me like that, but she took the big heat from her family. And I didn't have anybody to take heat from, so that's what I did. I took all the heat, I got all the glory, and that was it. That's how I felt about it.
This idea to be like free to, again, like mother in a way that seems right to me and my personality, and again, the experience I want my son to have, and then I want him to feel free, and being able to like show him like this is what freedom looks like, and this is what it means to be comfortable with yourself and to explore all those things.
I kind of feel like when you become a mom, you become kind of like a shadow population, like you behind the children. So like whatever your dreams and your aspirations were, like nobody really cares. Like your job is to take care of the children. So
I don't belong to my son. And I have to remind myself that daily, like as long as he has his basic needs met, and if it's a bad day for me, it's okay for me to, if he has a day off from school, or if he has, something that he needs that he can wait a minute, I need to remind him that, I don't belong to you. I'm your mother.
For me, I so didn't want to repeat mistakes. My father told me, if you don't know that I love you because there's clothes on your back, food on the table, and the roof over your head, basically that's my problem. So I didn't want that for my daughter. And I became very aware too of how powerful my words are. So it was a lot of I love you because I feed and clothe you, but I want you to know I love you just because you breathe. And there's nothing you can do that would not make me love you. And I would tell her, I may not like what you do and punish you or whatever, but I will always, always love you.
I pray that you will protect my little Black girl.
Mm-hmm. Right. Because, you know, when she was in school, there was an incident one time where there was this little girl, you know, they were friends. And so she called my daughter a black turd. Okay. So now I'm about to go up to the school and, you know, I had to think about it. I had to think. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to be calm about it, you know, because they always think that, you know, Black females have an attitude, loud, ghetto, and all the other stuff.
Yes. And we are not as supported as we should be, because instead of telling us that we're strong and resilient, like, understand where that strength and resilience come from. It's not a healthy thing. No. Sometimes I want to break down. Sometimes I want to be soft. Sometimes I want to just be open and free and tell my truth without it frightening you, you know, or me even having to worry about how it impacts you. Like, why do I even care?
I think of when I wanted to quit my job because I was experiencing pregnancy and disability discrimination, just having the baby. My soror tells me, she goes, you don't have the luxury of quitting. You know, she was just like, you're a mom now. That's a priority. And then she was just like, you also don't have the luxury of looking how you feel. She was like, white women can come in with like a messy bun and like wear whatever, but like as a Black woman, you could be dying, but you need to look like Sunday's best.
And no matter what you do, you're wrong, right? If you go to work, you're wrong. If you stay home, you're failing them at some level. If you send them to school, you're wrong. You should homeschool, you're wrong. Then you homeschool, you're not socializing them. Like, every part of motherhood, you're wrong in some way. To someone, the part of me is like, I compare myself a lot to other people, which I've had to really get over. And like I said, ultimately, you know, with the growth you see like at the bottom, I'm just growing more into being myself and being who I am and like being okay with that.
The bonnet, of course, is a representation of like me as an African American woman. That's my crown, you know, like, just leave me alone. I gotta get to this store before the kids get out of school, and I don't feel like doing my hair today, you know, or like, you know, just make sure my hair stay protected. Inside of it though, you know, your bonnet is what you sleep in. It's all my dreams, you know. So it's like me going to the store with my bonnet, I'm doing what I gotta do so I can accomplish what I need to get to.
I am always out there pushing so that Black women's voices are heard, but not often am I able to explore and unpack my own stuff. Sitting with my story is a form of therapy for me. It allows me to trace my history, my journey, my maternal experiences. And so, like, I thought that was a great opportunity for me to sit with myself and sit with my stuff. And it was great.
And, you know, I just had a big cry. I just sat and cried, and it felt good to cry. It felt good to release. And had I not sat there and done that collage and, you know, been reflective like that, I would, who knows when the next time I would have had a good cry.
The Black Motherhood is the title. Where the butterfly is very simplistic, beginning, middle, and continuation. I won't even say end, just continuation. And out the window is, you know, infinity.
I'm glad we learned our technology. Ain't we women? Ain't we Black women? Did we get a man to say, well, how you do it on the phone? Ain't I a woman? I'm gonna start saying that on everything, Nicole. Ain't I a woman? Go look that up. Ain't I a woman?
Do it. Right.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. Good night. Good night, darling.
Bye-bye.